I'm Sean Clear with Dirt Rider Magazine. I'm here with
Chris Kiefer
and
Mike Barrett,
and we're talking about the 2015 450 Motocross Shootout. We're here talking about the 5th and 6th place bikes in our 450 shootout. It's the KTM 450 and the Husqvarna FC 450.
The KTM and the Husky are identical motors, but on the track they don't feel that way. The Husky is smoother roll-on throttle out of corners, easier to handle. The KTM is a lot of bite coming out of corners, and mid to top end still has like a seamless transition for me on the Husky. The KTM is more of a hit everywhere. You ride that bike on a faster track, you just feel like you're in less control. And for me, I wanted to have control, and the Husky is a better setup for me.
So both the KTM and the Husqvarna have the same 4CF fork and the same shock. And Mike, what did you feel about the suspension?
basically what made it rate 5th and 6th on the Husky and the KTM. The suspension being harsh, unbalanced, basically flows mid okay. After mid, it blows through the stroke, which makes it a really harsh feeling bike.
The KTM and Husky 4CS forks, they ride a little high in the stroke initially when you come into a corner, but yet the mid-stroke harshness is where you feel it on the track. And then once you're past that mid-stroke, the end stroke on that fork, it just dives through. I feel like there's no dampening. So KTM and Husky went to a cost-saving fork this year. Although it's not air, I still think it hurt them in the long run.
Kiefer, how does that transition into the handling of the bikes?
We went to some tighter tracks and both the bikes turned pretty well, but once we open them up on larger size tracks, it feels rigid, and I think most of that has to do with the fork. At Glen Helen, actually there is some square edge stuff that the frame absorbs really good than an aluminum frame, but to me the big problem is in both these bikes is the 4CS fork.
So in spite of the things that we didn't like about these bikes, there are a lot of points that we do like. The great brakes, the Brembo brakes, the hydraulic clutch. They both look great with the orange frame on the KTM and the white frame on the Husky. Our test rider, Gary Sutherland, won the Works Championship on KTM 450. Just because it's not the best bike in our eyes doesn't mean that you're not going to love the bike too. For more information, check out dirtrider.com and look for the March issue for the full 450 motocross shootout.